Hey guys, Noah here. Today I'm going to do a match study on Levi Jones versus Renato Canuto. So first a little bit about the fighters. Levi here, he's a really good guard player and he's known for his brain balls and his crab ride. And he also has a very good close guard and 50-50 game. On the other hand, Renato is known for his very explosive fireworks style passing. He's very fast paced and he likes to do flying cartwheels, backflips and flying triangles and arm bars. So the first thing we notice right off the bat in this match is that Levi is always going to keep his hands in front of his legs. And the reason being is that Renato Canuto has a very good stand-up game and has very good takedowns. And he doesn't want to pull guard and let Renato grab his legs to steal the two. And so by keeping his hands in front of his legs, he's able to prevent this by creating distance. As you guys can see, until he's ready and he jumps in and pulls guard. Now Renato jumps. And Levi uses his knee to create distance and set up his De La Riva hook. Now, the interesting thing here about Levi's De La Riva that separates it from the conventional De La Riva is, notice how his arm is hugging around. Whereas if we went to search normal De La Riva, what most people will learn, let's just see an image of normal De La Riva. You see how the normal De La Riva, they like to grab the ankle. But when you watch Levi, he hugs all the way around and hugs his own thigh, right? He's hugging his own leg. And this makes the De La Riva hook very hard to escape from. So immediately Renato is going to try. As you can see, he's trying to shin slide across. He pushes Levi's hook down and drives his knee to the ground. But he's unable to bring his knee out because Levi is hugging his own leg, as you guys can see here. And hence this is the and Levi is able to reset the position to his De La Riva guard. Okay, so now Renato tries to go for a very good attack, which is he's trying to swim under this leg and go for the leg drag. As you can see, he controls and he tries to dive. Now, the second Levi notices this, he's trying to keep his leg down to the mat, so Renato can't come in. But here, Renato's trying to come in. So what Levi does is he flattens his whole back and puts his head on the mat and straightens his whole back. What this does is he puts a lot of weight on his legs, making his legs very heavy. Now you can see that Renato sort of sitting down on his left knee, his right leg becomes very light. And Levi sort of capitalizes on this by lifting his leg up and crossing to the other side. Now what Levi was trying to do, I think, is he was trying to spin under. And this sort of attack is something that Rafa Mendes likes to do a lot, as you guys can see in this clip here. So the second they pull guard, especially in double pull, Rafa Mendes will always go for the cross grip. So he grabs here, and his right hand's going to cross, and he's trying to cross the leg to the other side such that he can spin into a ground below attack one way or the other. So he starts spinning. And he actually did it successfully against Gianni Grippo in the 2014 Worlds clip, as you guys can see here. So Gianni immediately tried to go for a ground below attack, tried to spin, and to counter the ground below attack, he's going to cross Gianni's leg to the other side, as you guys can see here, entering his own leg drag attack. And so that's sort of the idea of what Levi was trying to do when he crosses this grip. But Renato is very smart and he counters this by holding Levi's top leg here, which prevents Levi from spinning, from inverting here. And so they end up in sort of a double pull position for a while. And eventually Levi goes and does a back row and comes on top. Now immediately, you can't really see this well, but Renato is going to pass his right hand through and control the lapel in a very in this lapel grip here. You see he holds the lapel in his left hand and his right hand passes through and he passes it to his left hand. Okay, let's also consider Levi's strategy from the top position. From the top position, there are two knee positions that you can have, and it really depends on your objective. If your objective is to stay on top, you want to have your knee turning down to the ground. Whereas if, for example, I think Levi doesn't really mind if he gets swept in this position because he's quite confident in his 50-50 game. And so you can see that his knee is actually pointing out and he doesn't really turn his knee down. And so let's just see. When his knee is pointed out, he doesn't have any way to base backwards. And his foot is very close to this knee, which means his base is quite weak because he doesn't spread out his weight, right? And that makes it very easy for Renato to come up and sweep him quite easily. Okay, so here you can see Renato's grip that I was talking about earlier, right? His right hand passes through and grabbing the lapel. And this grip is very common, especially with the Miao brothers, the Mendes brothers, and many other highly. So I think the similar concept can be seen here. Here, Renato is sort of standing straight, right? Here, Renato is sort of standing straight. His knee isn't really turning out. Notice what happens the second his knee turns out. The second his knee turns out, he loses his balance because there's no base behind, and he falls, and Levi comes up with a sweep. Okay, let's look at a counter example with one of the best 50-50 players, which is Gabriel Arges. When Gabriel Arges is in 50-50 here, notice what he does. Izaki is trying to sweep him. Izaki Uedo is trying to sweep him. He posts his left hand on the mat and drives his right knee down to the ground. What this does is it makes it very hard for Izaki to create momentum to the left side to sweep Gabriel, right? To the left side. Because Gabriel's putting all his weight to the right. Especially when he's... The key detail in Gabriel Arges is stepping his foot. You see, there's quite a big space between his foot and his knee line, which allows him to put more weight to his left side. To repay how Renato got swept in that position. So you see when the second Levi starts to off-balance him, here his knee and his foot are too close to each other. If his foot was extended here and he put his weight forward onto here, it'll be harder for Levi to come up. But the fact that he has no base there and his weight was really sort of messed up, he was really sitting back and he lost the sweep. Okay, but again you notice that Renato straight away controls the lapel here with his left hand, and he's going to pass the same grip as he did previously. He's his right hand through, and he's going to grab that grip. Now we can see why the grip is so strong. Because the grip actually helps this process of turning Levi's knee out. Even if Levi is trying to pressure in, it's very hard for him to pressure in when you see Renato's arm is here, preventing him from turning his knee in, forcing him to turn his knee out. Right, as you guys can see. So Levi is here. He's trying to stay on top, I think, because you see he's posting his hand. He's trying to stay on top, posting his hand, trying to keep his weight. But because Renato had that strong grip, and because Renato was compromising Levi's base by kicking this 50-50, Renato was able to sweep and keep this grip here. And Renato tries to keep this grip throughout. Now, also Renato's controlling Levi's sleeve. Right, as you guys can see here, he controls Levi's sleeve. I think this one nice 50-50 attack that Gabriel Arges likes to do. As we can see here in Gabriel Arges versus Marcus Tinoco in 2017 Worlds. But instead of holding Tinoco's sleeve with his left hand, Arges is holding it with his right hand. And also we notice there's a difference in posture between Renato and Gabriel, in that Gabriel is dropping his knee to the ground and posting his left hand. Only conventionally in the 50-50, this right arm is going to be controlling Gabriel's foot, which prevents Gabriel from pulling his leg out. Right, likewise, Levi is going to use his hand to control the leg, right, to prevent Renato from stepping out. So that's the reason why Renato wants to pull this, so he probably can pull his right leg out and escape the position. But Levi knows this, so he uses his left hand to hold the leg. So what Gabriel wants to do is, if he can pull the sleeve up to prevent Tinoco from holding his leg, he's able to step his leg back, as you guys will see right now. He steps his leg back, which eventually allows him to escape the position, and he attacks the back of Tinoco. But of course, Levi, knowing this, is controlling the pens. Also, Renato's posture is quite different from Gabriel Arges because he's not posting his hand, he's not dropping his knee. He's standing straight. And the problem with standing straight is that a lot of weight is on your leg, which makes your leg very heavy and very difficult for you to put out. In order for him to put it out, he needs to put his weight somewhere else for him to put his leg out. So this is why Gabriel Arges is posting his hand and dropping his knee, which makes his leg very light for him to move, for him to be able to move his leg out. And now Levi, basically what Levi is trying to do here is trying to go for his back attack, which means he's trying to use this hook to hook behind Renato's leg here. So he constantly tries to go for that, and he hooks. The second he hooks, look, his left hand, from holding this pens, switched behind the knee. So let's just watch that again. So we know his left hand was holding this pens, right, preventing Renato from pulling it out. The second he hooks it in, he switches it. He's looking to switch, he switches it here. And then he's going to switch it to the pens grip here. And this pens grip is very important, as we will see later. And his right hand is just holding this, Renato's other leg. So now he's going to spin through, and he's going to cross the leg proper, and then his right hand is going to grab the collar, either the same side collar or the far side collar. He's going to grab, and he's going to connect himself. So notice why this pens grip, getting this pens grip is so important. Because he goes here, Renato's trying to scoot away. You see he's posting his hand, he's trying to move away very quickly. But this pens grip connects himself to Renato. So no matter where Renato goes, you see Renato's trying to move away, but Levi is able to follow him. So he follows and he connects himself to Renato. Renato tries to stand. Levi is going to kick his legs and sit back, forcing Renato to fall back and rolling and trying to put in his hooks in. So here they sort of get out of bounds, but I think Levi has his hooks in, but Renato runs out of bounds a bit. and they restart them standing for some reason, and they only gave Levi 2 points. But yeah. So now Levi's ahead by 2 points, and his strategy is the same. He doesn't want to lose 2 points here, because if Renato takes him down here, it's going to equalize the score, and it's quite risky, right? So he's doing the same strategy. He's keeping his hands in front of his legs to prevent the takedown, and he just goes ahead and times his pull. He goes ahead and jumps in, gets his pull. Now Renato starts jumping side to side, which is very dynamic and very fast-paced passing. He starts running to this side, and so he's trying to sort of a crazy dog pass, which is or like a cross grip pass. His right hand's grabbing the bottom leg, and now Renato's goal is to use his left hand to grab the control of the collar and to run and pressure in. But Levi, being a very good guard player, he understands this concept, and he doesn't want Renato to control his collar or his sleeve. And notice what he does is he brings his right arm up to his ear, and this makes it very far, so making it very hard for Renato to grab his collar. It goes to his head. So you can notice, like, whenever Renato tried to grip, so he's blocking and he brings it back and he blocks the head. So Renato couldn't get a grip on his collar or the sleeve. And yeah, here Levi circled his left leg in to pummel to create more space, and he just keeps calm. He just chills here, and he just relaxes. He sort of frames the shoulder here to prevent Renato from pressuring in. Frames the shoulder, breaks the grip. Look, so the second you notice Levi's priority. The second Renato controls his collar, you see? Here Renato got a grip on the collar. He frames with his top knee and breaks the grip. That's very important for Levi, because he does not want Renato to control him. If Renato controls the collar, he probably can stabilize. But because he doesn't have the collar grip, doesn't have any control on Levi's head, Levi's able to circle in. And here he manages to set up his lasso guard. And basically at this point there's 2 minutes left. And I'll say lasso is very, very hard to pass, especially with a high level guard player of Levi. And I think at this point Levi has really won the match. Yeah, and so that's basically the story of the rest of the match. Renato tries to pass, but is unable to do so because of Levi's framing, and Levi eventually wins the match. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. If this was helpful, or if you guys have any feedback, criticisms, any comments, or anything that I could improve in, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you.